Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. My name is Maureen Gasheru,
Hello, my name is Sharon.
and it's
About
that
that
time.
time that we talk about relationships and social media. So, what we're gonna try to answer some questions here,
Yeah.
and the first one is I'll direct it to my friend here. Do you post your man on social media? Like, do you put your relationship out there on social media?
I don't know. Honestly, based on my past experience, I am a bit pessimistic about this one. Because in my past relationships, when I was much younger, this was such a thing, you know. You want everyone in your social media accounts to know that you're dating, you're taken, and you want other women to know or other girls to know that this guy is taken, you know. I think it comes with insecurities. It's more of I want to mark my territory, you know. I want to tell everyone that this is my guy, don't mess with him.
Yes.
Yeah, but at this point in time with my age, I feel like I don't really need to do that. It's about, you know, when you're in a relationship, it's up to you independently to make that decision that, you know, I'm dating now and it's my responsibility to to like keep other people off, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's for me as a woman, it's my responsibility to like let other guys know that I'm taken. Sorry, maybe if I'm not taken,
So
maybe if we break up.
so that I get it right. So your perception of like in regards to like putting your man on social media, it's with a particular intention, and that is like to mark your territory.
Yes.
That will be the reason why you would actually post your man.
The way I see it at this point.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't do it, because you
Yes,
feel like
that's why
there's
I
no
don't do
need
it
for you
anymore.
to mark your territory.
Exactly.
Ah, so you're on social media, right?
Yes, I am.
Is your man also on social media?
Yes, he is.
Do you follow each other?
Yes, we do. He's a huge fan of mine. Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you both have accounts, but
I don't.
there's no
post him.
instance where you've posted.
No, not even on my WhatsApp status or my profile or my stories. And okay, maybe it's gonna come up in future.
Yes.
But the intention for which I'll be doing it will be something casual, like the way I post you. You know, this is someone who is in my life, you know, and maybe we went for a picnic somewhere and this is how I spent my day. But it won't be for that purpose of, hey guys, now I'm dating, keep off or do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay. So you're admitting at some point that might likely pop up, especially if you're doing an activity. But it's not like a constant thing, like every time you're posting your relationship on social media.
No.
Okay. So the thing is with social media, especially, for instance, a platform like Instagram, it's a place whereby you post photos or video content, and you expect a reaction or interaction with like your followers, so they're likely to like or comment or something of that sort. And sometimes we do attach emotions or to that
The
act,
content.
you know.
Yeah.
So I think this does bring us to that aspect of like what's the limitation in regards to what you put out there, like when it comes to like posting or interacting with your followers on social media. So nowadays with social media, it's a good platform, but there's a way whereby sometimes we might, it might turn into the negative aspect, like, and lead to things like addiction, like you're addicted to social media. For instance, if your attachment to like you posting is like you getting a certain, there's, I think there's a psychologist. I think there's a certain hormone that's released. Dopamine, yes. So it makes you feel good when you post something and then you receive likes, which is not a bad thing. But I think now the negative aspect is in relation to whereby you are attaching your sense of worth or of
Identity.
yes
Yeah.
to those likes, you know, because what you post, that's what you're, it's like a product, that's what you're selling. That's why we are even seeing like social media being a very nice platform for marketing and yes, so there's something that you're selling when you put it out there.
Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes we attach so much you know, value to the responses or the likes that we get. So I feel that's where we need to like put a limit to things, because it might affect you. So now bringing it in relation to relationships, you know, ask yourself, why are you doing it? You know,
What is the intention behind
exactly
it?
Sometimes you put too much of your relationship out there, and maybe it's because of you want some validation, you know, and
Or you want to make someone jealous.
you want to make someone jealous.
Yeah, like you're sure your exes are watching and they're gonna be like, oh wow, okay. She now has a richer guy, or she now has Mzungu. You know, there are all these the intentions, like you're saying. Like for example, I admire some couples who do things like exercise together, and that is their brand identity. You know, they have maybe a name for their YouTube whatever account or their other social media platforms, and they constantly do exercise together. You know, number one, this is boosting a healthier physical whatever. Physical body. It's boosting also intimacy. Like they know, they have a constant profile of what they do, and it's probably for business purpose.
So yes, sometimes even relationship in itself, like based on what you said, the relationship itself is the product that you're trying to sell out there. That's like your niche. So you'll tend to post more of that, like things you're doing as a couple. Even YouTube as well, like in a relationship, that's like their niche, that's their product. And sometimes even like celebrities, you know, the relationship is what stands out, and even without them like putting that out there as a product, just for the fact that they're known, and then even their private life tends to be out there. And that makes me think of like even programs nowadays, like Love is Blind, you know, like this is something that is marketable, and what they are trying to sell is actually relationships and dating and things like that. So the question is, to what extent is it healthy, and to what extent does it, you know, stop being healthy? And one of the things we can do point out is like, you know, if it's turning to like the need for that validation, like you want to get validation even for your relationship, not just for yourself as a person, based on like the interaction that you get with like your followers. And it's good.
And also in the same line, because that is when you have those emotional needs that are negative, you know, if you're also trying to make people jealous, maybe you want your best friend who thought that maybe your relationship is not going to work, you're trying to make them jealous, or to see that, hey, actually it worked, or your ex, or people, you know, all those negative intention. As long as it's not serving you positively, of which sometimes this is what we trick our minds into thinking, that this is serving me positively, because when I make them jealous, then it means it heightens my self-esteem. But in the long run, what if you go and look at the likes and you see that they didn't even view the video, or they didn't like?
How does that affect you?
How does that affect you?
Yes. Does it? Yes. Okay. So also on the same, I'd like to also talk about the fact that the content that we put out there, if for instance, you're in a relationship, how that might actually affect your relationship. Say if your partner has an issue with like the content that you put there, so how does that affect
the
relationship? How does social media affect relationships in that way?
Wow, I feel number one, there is need to communicate with your partner before posting them, even something as small as putting it on WhatsApp, because we view WhatsApp as something very local, like these are just my friends who are going to view this. But it's important to communicate first. Are they comfortable with it? Because there are people who are not comfortable with being public with things they view as private. And then something else, what am I posting? Sometimes you may post things like I've seen some friends of mine who post relationship stuff when they're actually in bed, and they're but okay, for them that is their brand identity. So they do some stuff like enhancing intimacy in bed, or like how you can enhance intimacy when you're spending time together. And you'll find them doing things that, for me, I would view them as private, like very private. But for them, that is their brand identity.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure if my partner actually posted something like that, I'd be very offended. Because number one, I wouldn't want my parents to see something like that. We are not married yet. So that would be a huge no-no.
Yeah, so nowadays things are changing, but I feel like back then it was like, if you're married, what are you doing on Facebook? Like, so there are certain expectations that comes with when you're in a relationship, or maybe if you're in a marriage, and I think it all comes down to respect and boundaries. You need to know each other, like the two of you in a relationship, and what's acceptable and what's not acceptable to the both of you. Say, for instance, if my man has an issue with me posting certain content, like for instance me in a bikini, I'm not saying that there's an issue with it, but if my man has an issue with it, then we need to communicate. Or me posting maybe a picture of me in lingerie. So it might be okay with certain partners. If your partner is okay with that, then go ahead. But let's just admit there are certain partners who might not be okay with certain aspects or of like the content that you put out there. And the other thing that I want to ask in relation with that is, do you get suspicious when a partner likes another person speak on social media, especially when it comes to certain particular pictures? Do you have an issue with when he likes a particular lady's photos a lot, or certain comments? Yes.
Okay. For me, number one, what comes to my mind when you ask this question is, how did I even know that he liked that photo? Was I stalking him?
You're following each other.
Okay, we are following each other, but I don't look at his activities.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like what is he? Did he like your photo, the one in a bikini? How will I even know? Seriously. Okay, it's unless we are very I don't know, unless we follow each other, and then it just comes up, but not like I was actually checking who is he liking, who is he not liking.
Yes.
But for me, if I find out that he liked a certain photo, maybe a lady in a bikini or someone twerking, for me, I feel like it's personal preference. And we are all human. Just because he's with me doesn't mean that he has stopped being attracted to other people. The only difference is what he does with that attraction. Does he take it to another level, or does it remain to him just accepting I'm attracted to other people, period?
Given my understanding of like your attachment style, right now I've just spoken like a secure attachment
I think
style
maybe
lady.
I think I am improving. I'm improving
which is
for
good.
Sure.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it does touch on like it points at the relationship that you have with your partner, the understanding that you have with your partner. So if your partner is aware that there are certain boundaries that he cannot cross, for instance, for me especially, it's like making particular comments especially towards like the opposite gender,
Yeah.
that is like flirtatious in a way. It's okay to like, I mean, people put photos out there. Sometimes you might be scrolling, you end up liking. That's the whole interaction, like on social media and stuff. But if you go to the extra mile of like putting
Commenting,
comments, and then the comments is like a bit crossing the boundaries that you know it's like acceptable. Like if you know me as your partner, I'll find this to be
It's a red flag.
yeah,
Yeah.
then that will affect me, especially, I don't know, these heart emojis. People put it like it's just, I don't know, it depends on how you take it. For me, heart emojis is,
It's okay.
it's extra.
As a comment,
Yes, as a comment,
as a comment,
it's
it's
extra.
extra.
It's
Yeah.
extra.
that
you
is
know?
definitely extra.
And then say you two heart emojis, I feel like it's extra.
That's extra.
Yeah, so keep the comments light, you know.
And also how maybe they react to other people's comments.
Yes.
If maybe some babe commented there, hey, you're hot, I don't know what does he do with that? Did he leave also a heart, or did he like just leave it blank? For me, I would prefer if he just leaves it blank. You know.
on the same, like so our reaction to like say your partner liking a pic or commenting, or sometimes even the way he responds to those DMs, because it goes beyond the likes to the comments. Now it's in the DM, you know. The fact that you've put yourself out there, you're not in control of how people will react to your content.
Yeah.
But if you're in a relationship, then you're in control on how you entertain or the boundaries that you put with your interaction with your followers, especially if it's like in the DMs. And this is a lady who's like, it's clearly shows she's coming for you or he's coming for you, you know, for you. So it's how you know, you put barriers or how you entertain certain flirtatious messages, given that you are in a relationship, you know. Yeah, so the other thing is security in the relationship. But I want to point out one thing. There are some people who are like okay with like sharing their relationship, and sometimes it's not even for the reasons that you've already mentioned before.
Wait, sharing their relationship?
Like putting it out there on social media.
If we are in an open relationship, that's perfect. That's okay.
Yeah. For instance, me. Okay, let me now talk about me. At first, back then, I didn't used to have any issue with posting my man on social media, and it was not, there's those percentage whereby it's not attached to like the way the response of what from your followers. It's just that, okay, this is my person and I feel like I'm proud of them and I want to like, you know, like, yes, put it out there, share it, because it's part of my life experiences. And sometimes with me and social media, it's more of like I'm saving memories, and this is part of it. Yes, this is a stage in my life, and this is what I was going through. I was in love with this person, and I want to share him, you know, with the world. But my fears nowadays is in like, sometimes you do that with the person, you feel like they are the one, and then breakups happen. And you've already put it out there, you know, you have social media in-laws. And then they're like, the next time it's, say Mr. A, next time it's Mr. B, and like, okay, what's not happening? Next time it's Mr. C, and we're like, okay.
So are you trying to say that sometimes social media can act as a bad omen?
Yeah.
Because for me, that is also something I have a fear with.
Okay. I was not going with that direction, but I get what you mean. So, okay. So let me finish this and then I include what you're saying. So other than, okay, the fears, so what I'm just saying is I don't want to overshare, because I want to share. The next time I want to share my person, I want it to be like, okay, he proposed. You know, I want it to be like a serious. You
now
know,
you're missing someone. Yeah.
exactly. Sometimes you think it's serious, and then things happen, which is not your fault. It's okay. Sometimes it's good to acknowledge that breakups do happen, and yes, we date different people. You kiss different frogs before you can find
The one.
the prince. So yeah, that happens. But so that's my take right now. Unless it's like that, especially in Nairobi.
Character development.
I don't want embarrassment. I beg.
Where you're not sure why this person is with you.
Yes. So while it's still brewing, then just keep it between
Private,
you, because when you post it, you are adding a third party or outside info, outside energy, and if the foundation is not strong enough, then that will likely to ruin things. Now that relates to what my friend here is talking about in regards to like what was it?
The bad omen.
Yeah, bad omen.
Yeah.
Because the minute you do put it out there, your relationship out there, then you including other people into your relationship, and that in one way or another might affect it negatively. Because the minute, say, I post my man, and that's where now someone else was not even thinking of having a man or anything of that sort, want this particular one, because now this particular one looks like, appetizing. Why is she with her, So you might actually be exposing the relationship to other,
To terrorists.
Exactly.
What?
But
okay. Back to your point about posting someone, then you break up. For me, I remember the one time I just told myself, you are never doing this again. That point where you pinch yourself, like, no, this will never happen again.
Yeah.
For me, we had actually opened a social media page, an Instagram page, me and my boyfriend, sometime back, a few years ago. And then we used to post stuff, like updating people on what we are doing, where we are traveling, and then we break up after just a few months. And for me, okay, I didn't feel hard like closing the page, but inside, after closing the page and everything, I was like, wow, now what do people think? Everything that we were posting about how hopeful we were. But then when you say that these things do happen, it actually brings a lot of closure.
Yeah, breakups happen.
Yeah.
Like, if we all had it figured out, then we wouldn't be having.
But we are not advocating for you posting your relationship. Let it be, as in, think through how will it affect you after a breakup, in case a breakup happens.
Yes. So that brings me to like that topic of like aftermath. So you need to also be prepared with like the aftermath of like putting your life, not just relationship, but when it comes to like with social media and sharing, like you need to at least do it from a point of awareness whereby you know that there is online harassment, there is a lot of negative energy that sometimes comes with social media, and whatever content you put out there, be in a position whereby you're emotionally, mentally strong enough to handle with the reaction that comes with it. So be it a picture or selfie you're putting out there, it may not get likes. Are you okay with that? And then also look within, like what are the reasons behind you like sharing whatever content you're sharing,
especially that.
Yeah,
what's
is it for
the intention behind it?
Is it for business, or are you attaching your value to
or
the
are
likes?
you trying to do what someone else has been doing, and now you're in a competition?
And or even like your insecurities in regards to like how you react to your partner liking other people's. Okay, so the other question is like, there are certain contexts whereby you find that it's your partner who actually wants you to post them. Yes,
Wow.
because for them they feel like it's like you're proud of your relationship, you're okay with putting the relationship out there, and they feel a certain way if you don't post them. It's sometimes some partners feel like when you don't post them, then you're leaving room for other guys or women to like assume that you're single, and you're likely to get DMs or people pursuing you based on the fact that you're not posting them. And sometimes you might find that such a partner is actually in a relationship with someone who has this notion that that is their private life, and they feel like they don't want to put it out there because of various reasons. So what's your take on that?
What's my take on that? Well, I think it's worth discussing, because again, we can't just jump into conclusions that this person is being insecure. Sometimes it could be their personal values are like that. Even before social media was out here, there are people who really valued like going public about their relationship and everything. We've seen people who talk publicly, maybe on TV or when they're giving a speech somewhere, I have a wife, when they're introducing themselves, my name is so and so, and I have a wife and 2 kids, So it's a matter of having that very open discussion about the issue. If you're the one that doesn't want to post your relationship status, maybe you can state your reasons why, and then they can also state their reasons why, and then you can see whether you can come to a compromise, other than just jumping into conclusions. This person doesn't trust me, this person is insecure.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes you can come to a very good compromise, and he or she may actually understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes, at the end of the day, it is like between you two, and setting boundaries on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, what you value and what the other person does not, and also finding a common ground that is, yes. So personally, of course, I might get a similar question from like my partner, why are you not posting us? And I think I'm more of like, I want to keep it private as much as I can, unless I feel like it's strong enough, then I'm likely to like share, but also not overshare, because yes, I'm not ready for the backlash and aftermath that comes with like exposing that relationship out there. And we've seen like relationships that are out there in the private eye, especially among celebrities. We've seen how it ends up crumbling, and some people will be like, if even those ones broke up, then how can we believe in love?
Because that is something else. What effect does it have on other people, your followers? People who really believed in your relationship, and then now it is over. Like, wow, so Sharon and ABCD broke up, so what about me? Do I even stand a chance? She was my role model in this. If she did everything she used to advise us on, and they still broke up.
So that's the thing with social media, though. I'd like us to also have that in mind, that social media, like Instagram, it's the gram. What you put out there, it's like, the glam side of things. We put out the positive, but in real sense, we can't put everything out there. What's happening like on the ground, say if I'm sleeping hungry, if I'm crying my tears out, if I'm having difficulties with certain things, that's likely not gonna come out compared to like when I'm taking that vacation, when I'm with my man we are happy, you know, it's likely to, that's what we are likely to put out there, because that's what's likely to get consumed and get more views or likes and everything. But we won't put out those times that we are arguing or we're sleeping in separate rooms, because
That time when you cheated.
yes. So
It's hard.
even if we do consume whatever it is out there on social media, also like don't take it like as the ideal or the standard, or you know, also don't compare so much. Which we do that, you find that if some of the negative effects that social media might have on even us as individuals, other than just relationship, is we might find ourselves depressed, or we find ourselves anxious for some reason, or stressed, because what we are seeing, we compare it to where we are at, and you beat yourself up for it, because why can't I be the one on vacations? Why am I not in that stage where, you know, I can afford such and such, or eating out in certain restaurants? Why am I the one who's not having a man who can do certain things for me? Like, let me not mention names, but you've seen celebrities actually doing grand gestures for their partners, and there's always discussion like what that, you know, what's being portrayed, what can affect even you know, marriages and relationship. So as we sum up, don't compare your relationship with another person. Don't be like telling your man, you know, why can't you be like so and so, because that is just an aspect.
Like, maybe to help with wrapping up, I know we've overstayed on this. For example, you might see someone you follow who posts their relationship so publicly, and you want your man to be like that. Maybe his girlfriend or her boyfriend gives her gifts, okay? And then maybe your man's love language is not giving gifts.
Yes.
Okay, and maybe your man is not the kind of person that wants to give you money all the time, and it's because maybe he wants you to grow, you know, do not become very dependent on him. So you see, people have different reasons for doing stuff, so it's always important to always have open communications with your partner. Like, get to know where they are coming from.
Yes, that's true. So as we wrap it up, just be aware on like the content that you put out there. Also be self-aware on what you're consuming, and also be aware on where there's a line between when it's safe, or when now it extends to a need, or also when it now becomes toxic, addictive, or even affecting your relationships and even yourself negatively. So
And just so the last thing,
yeah.
oh, this is a long one. We are not speaking about this because we are perfect. It's because we've learned lessons. We are in our late 20s, and yeah, we've been there. There are these lessons we've learned, and we felt, you know, it's good to share maybe things we've learned from books, and now situation on the ground, what we've experienced.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're still, it's a learning process. Even as we do talk about these things,
Yeah.
it's also a learning process for us, because as we talk about it, it's a way of life. It's a way of like also self-reflecting on the same. Yeah. At the end of the day, no one's perfect. We are working towards, you know, that state.
Yeah.
So every day we are learning. Every day we are trying to do better. And yes, so that was our take on relationship and social media. So leave us a comment if you feel like, you know, something is pressing on you after listening to this.
Yeah.
Until next time.
Bye guys. Don't forget to
Bye.
subscribe and follow us on social media. We're
Yes.
gonna leave our social media handles down below.
Until next time.
Bye.